People say jealousy is a sign of love, but trust me, it feels more like a sign of insanity, especially when it's coming from the guy who begged me to help him date someone else. And the worst part? I said yes. It all started on an ordinary Thursday afternoon in New York City. The kind of day that smelled like coffee, ambition, and desperation. Ethan Hayes, college baseball star, campus heartthrob, and the walking definition of unattainable showed up at the cozy little cafe where I worked. He wasn't the kind of guy who casually strolled in for a latte. No, Ethan entered like he owned the air people breathed. Like every eye should be on him. And usually they were. But when his storm gray eyes locked on me that day, something in the room shifted. He walked over, towering like some Greek statue come to life, and dropped the bombshell that would screw up my entire semester. "I need you to teach me how to date," he said, voice low and smooth like melted chocolate. I laughed. Not because it was funny, though it kind of was, but because this man could have anyone he wanted. He was every girl's dream, every guy's envy, and he wanted my help? Me, Noah Carter, the artsy, introverted guy who spent more time with books than people? "You're joking," I said, still clutching my coffee like a lifeline. His jaw tightened. "Do I look like I'm joking?" Spoiler, he didn't. And because I have this little thing called poor judgment, I agreed. Just like that, I became Ethan's personal dating coach. Rule number 1. Keep things professional. Rule number 2. Don't fall for the client. Easy, right? Wrong. The first week was harmless enough. We worked on conversation starters, body language, how to not sound like a complete jerk when complimenting someone. He practiced smiling in front of me, which, let me tell you, should be illegal because when Ethan Hayes smiles, entire galaxies implode. But whatever. I was fine. Totally fine. Until the night everything went to hell. We were at this upscale bar downtown, the kind with dim lighting and cocktails that cost more than my rent. It was supposed to be a practice run, a safe space for him to test out his new skills. Things were going great, until some guy, tall, blonde, annoyingly handsome, came up and started talking to me. Not Ethan. Me. "Hey," Blondie said, flashing me a grin that probably melted hearts from Manhattan to Brooklyn. "Can I buy you a drink?" Before I could respond, Ethan was there, sliding between us like a human wall. His arm brushed against mine, warm, firm, deliberate. "He's not interested," he growled, and I swear, if looks could kill, Blondie would have been a crime scene. I blinked, stunned. "Ethan, back off," he snapped at the guy, his voice sharp enough to slice through steel. The guy muttered something under his breath and walked away, leaving me gaping at Ethan like he'd just declared war on the entire male population of New York. "What the hell was that?" I hissed when Blondie was out of earshot. "What?" Ethan's expression was all innocent, except for the fire blazing in his eyes. "You scared him off." "Good," he said flatly, like that was the most reasonable thing in the world. I stared at him, heart pounding so hard it felt like it might break through my ribcage. "You're supposed to be practicing flirting, not whatever that was." Ethan leaned closer, his breath warm against my ear, his voice dropping to a husky whisper that made my skin tingle. "I don't want to flirt with anyone else, Noah." And just like that, my entire reality tilted. This was not part of the plan. This was chaos wrapped in temptation, tied with a bow of pure disaster. "I don't want to flirt with anyone else, Noah." The words slammed into me like a freight train. My throat went dry, and for a second, the entire bar dissolved into static. Music, chatter, clinking glasses gone. All I could hear was the pounding of my own heart and the low, steady cadence of Ethan's voice. "You." "What?" My voice cracked like a teenager's. "Great. Real smooth, Noah." Ethan didn't blink. His gray eyes burned, unrelenting, like storm clouds before a downpour. "You heard me." My pulse was a wild drumbeat. This wasn't happening. This was not supposed to happen. He wanted me to teach him how to date someone else. This was all just practice. A game. A joke the universe was playing on me. I swallowed hard, trying to steady myself. "Ethan, this is insane. You don't mean that." His jaw flexed. "The hell I don't." Before I could speak again, his hand brushed mine, fingers grazing so lightly it felt like an electric shock. I froze. The air between us thickened, charged with something raw and dangerous. "I've been trying," he said, voice softer now, like confession. "I've been trying to want someone else, Noah. Anyone else. But every time." He exhaled sharply, his breath trembling against my skin. "Every time I look at you, I can't remember why I wanted anyone else in the first place." My chest tightened. This wasn't real. Couldn't be. Because if it was, then everything, the boundaries, the rules, the fragile little wall I'd built around my heart was about to crumble into dust. I took a shaky step back, desperate for oxygen. "Ethan, stop. You can't just say things like that." "Why not?" His voice cracked, raw edges bleeding through. "Because you might feel the same and that scares the hell out of you?" His words sliced me open. Because yes, God, yes, I was terrified. Terrified of wanting him. Terrified of what that meant for us. I shook my head, choking on a bitter laugh. "You hired me to help you date someone else. That's the whole point of this. That's the only reason I don't care about the reason anymore." He cut in, voice fierce, eyes blazing like he was ready to burn down the world. "I care about you." And before I could process a single thought, his hand cupped my jaw and his lips crashed into mine. It wasn't gentle. It wasn't careful. It was fire meeting gasoline, violent, desperate, consuming. For half a heartbeat, I resisted. Then I shattered. Every piece of restraint I'd clung to dissolved as I kissed him back, fists gripping the fabric of his hoodie like it was the only thing tethering me to earth. The world spun, tilted, vanished. There was only Ethan, his taste, his heat, his impossible honesty pressed against my lips. When we finally broke apart, gasping, foreheads resting together, I felt something terrifying and liberating all at once. Certainty. "Tell me this isn't just a game," I whispered, breathless. His eyes softened, vulnerability spilling through the cracks of his armor. "Noah, it's the only real thing I've ever wanted." 3 weeks later, I was sitting in the same cafe where it all began, except this time, I wasn't alone behind the counter. Ethan sat across from me, his arm draped lazily over the back of my chair like he owned the entire universe. Maybe he did. At least he owned mine. The rumors had exploded across campus after that night at the bar. But for once, I didn't care. Let them talk. Let them speculate. Because none of it mattered when his hand found mine under the table and squeezed like a promise. "You still think this is crazy?" he asked, smirking that infuriating, heart-melting smirk. "Absolutely," I said, sipping my coffee to hide the grin threatening to break free. "But I've always liked crazy." His laugh, low, warm, unguarded, wrapped around me like sunlight. And for the first time in a long time, I wasn't scared anymore. Because sometimes the thing that terrifies you most is exactly what you've been waiting for all along. And Ethan Hayes? He was worth every terrifying second. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with the latest videos.